Get it set up. Let's see. Welcome in, Pantera Soul Fam. Ocean Goddess, welcome, love. Welcome, Mickey. Greetings from Croatia. Welcome in, Croatia. Love it. Let's see something here. Alright, let's go over here. Now me yawning. Not even. We're gonna see what that is about. Right, y'all, let's get it going. Hey, y'all. Hello, familia. What's up, y'all? I'm Goddess High Priestess Empress Alvala Pantera. Shout out, major shout out to the members of the channel, the true supporters. Those of you with that star next to your name and your name is highlighted, major shout out to you always. Major shout out to you, those of you that are submitting your Cash Apps, your PayPals, booking your sessions, obtaining the Reset Your Timeline or Repeat Your Life Guide. Shout out to y'all. Welcome, returning subscribers, and those of you that are new. Read the room first. All right, before you get a little jumpy. You hear me? That's why I set to 5 rotations, aka days, for subscribers to chat so y'all can get a feel for it. You know what I'm saying? Because we do things a whole lot differently over here, over this way. Okay? So, it's important to be mindful of what you're paying when it comes to your attention over here. You feel me? But much love to all of you. If you're looking to book a live session during this live, that information is in the description box where you can see it clearly, but you have it briefly there within the pinned comment as well. I am also available for private one-on-one sessions via Zoom. You'll just have to read through different offers to see which ones are Zooms, and it's very well described for you not to get confused. Just take your time, read it thoroughly, and make your selection based on what best fits you and your current energy and situation, okay? So, we're in the waning gibbous phase. Oh, before I even get started, we are returning Alba La Bandera and the Soul Fam, returning back to King Simon's Presents channel. That's going to be on the 12th of August. And perfect timing because that's actually the solar eclipse. So, see y'all there. Okay, make sure y'all tune in. The post is up on Instagram, TikTok, in the community tab. If you are lined up with me on Facebook, you'll see it there too. Just join the vibes on the 12th of August at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, okay? So, salute to all of you that will be there, okay? Supporting your girl, Goddess High Priestess Empress Alba Bandera, and King Simon's channel as well, too, you know what I'm saying? Only quality people over there, you feel me? So, let's get into the vibes right now. And I'm loving the fact that the galactic signatures over here, if you're new, I have a way of relaying the message to you through different mediums of whether if it's astrology, the tarot, oracle cards, galactic signature, human design, numerology. And what I'm loving right now about the energy is the fact that the galactic signature is the white cosmic wizard, which actually fits perfectly with this energy right now. The fact that it's a waning gibbous moon in the sign of Pisces. And reason being because that's the cosmic tone that speaks of transcendence, endurance, and presence. So it reminds us that mastery is rarely found in rushing ahead. It's normally found in remaining fully present long enough for understanding to mature. And that's one of the things to take home with you if you're new to this channel. Understanding is a personal affair. No one is here to understand you but you. Every time you place yourself into a situation where you're getting someone to understand you, notice how often, you come up with some arguments or some type of argumentative nature way of conversing with one another. And things go a lot smoother when, so here's the thing. What I mean about getting someone to understand is if you said the same thing more than once about who you are, the way you are, why you are the way you are. The same way you have the capability of hearing people out and listening to what they have to say, give yourself the same opportunity to be on that receiving end when somebody's receiving you that way, the same way you can receive them. So the white wizard is actually associated with receptivity, timelessness, enchantment, and quiet influence. Because the wizard's energy does not force reality into submission. The wizard changes reality by becoming internally coherent enough that the environment naturally begins responding differently. Now, It's a strong moon energy when it comes to manifestation, the Pisces moon. Its ancient ruler being Jupiter, and Jupiter also rules Sagittarius. Now let's look at this from the perspective of that the full moon that was in Aquarius has already revealed what had to be seen. And now the moon has entered Pisces, currently at 5 degrees, Leo degree. Oh, while moving through the waning gibbous phase. Now, when we look at this from the root to crown sequence of the chakras, as we also over here on this channel, we view the phases through the chakras to give you a better understanding as to what's going on and the best way to align with it. This is the current phase right now that's no longer about revelation or the full moon. It's more so about integration, the waning gibbous moon. So this is where the nervous system actually begins sorting through everything that came to the surface. So right now, this is a moon in Pisces energy right now in the phase that it's in, waning gibbous, is actually asking you what actually belongs in your life moving forward and what is simply just information. Because this is the type of phase that will strengthen, your wisdom through reflection, refinement, and any sort of practical application of the sorts. So it's less concerned at this point with gathering another message and more so concerned with becoming the message through consistent action. So the moon in Pisces actually channels this process through intuition, imagination, compassion, dreams, spiritual perception, emotional sensitivity. Now, Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac. So there's always an invitation to release unnecessary resistance. Your dreams could be showing you that quite specifically at this time in terms of what is time for you to release before you restart the cycle when the moon goes into Aries. Now, when the moon goes into Aries, let's go first with the fact that it's in Pisces at the phase that it's in, which is actually connected to your mind's eye. So with that being said, a lot of your dreams are going to be showing you more so about, dissolving unnecessary tension so that your reality can become clearer. So many of you could be discovering that exhaustion is not actually coming from, how much you've been doing. It's coming from how much you've been carrying that actually no longer belongs in this chapter. I'm going to say that again. Some of you are realizing that your exhaustion is not coming from how much you've been doing. It's coming from how much you've been carrying that no longer belongs in the chapter. The body is quite remarkable in terms of its intelligence because it's constantly telling you where energy is leaking, where emotions remain unresolved, where boundaries require adjustment. Also, where old identities continue requesting resources they actually no longer deserve. So while the sun actually remains tightly conjunct to Jupiter and Leo, that type of fire hasn't gone anywhere. So your identity is still expanding. Your visibility is still growing. Your confidence is still asking for more room. Now, the difference right now is that the moon in Pisces is asking whether your internal world can actually support the expansion that your external world is beginning to reflect. The question is, how many of you are aware of what is happening in your external world based on what it is that you are creating or orchestrating with the universe? You know what I mean? Welcome in, y'all. So let me make sure I can see the chat as well. Because y'all know how this thing on the phone began. Okay, so it's just moving, okay, it's moving at the proper pace. I love to see it. Now, Let me take another look. Ba, ba, ba. So if we're just looking at today's current energy, it's actually an invitation to move more slowly without becoming stagnant. Making sure that you are becoming more intentional without becoming rigid, and to become more receptive without becoming passive. So basically, there is wisdom in allowing what has already been revealed to settle deeply enough, so much so that it naturally begins influencing your decisions. Welcome in, Gigi. So basically, this is the vibe of you realizing you don't have to chase every possibility. You don't have to, respond to every invitation. You don't have to prove every realization immediately. Some of the strongest shifts right now occur quietly. So when the inner world finally reaches agreement with itself. So the collective frequency at this moment is less about asking, what else do you need to know? And more so, how do you live differently because of what you already know? That's where the waning gibbous moon becomes so powerful. For those of you who were born during that phase, that's also one of your strongest abilities too. Where you have this sense of feeling in regards to, what ways you can live differently because of what you already know. This is a point where knowledge becomes discernment, where, discernment at this point becomes your behavior becomes your character becomes the structure that holds the next chapter. Because once again, there is wisdom in allowing what has already been revealed to settle deeply enough that it naturally begins influencing your decisions. Let's get a surrender message first. Wow. For most of you here, the underlying energy with the Ten of Wands and this vice versa deck, this is a Ten of Wands being carried away. Okay, so whatever has been carried away in terms of you being carried away with carrying too much, you're walking away from that. This other side of it would indicate that you are, this would be more of the energy of you coming or coming back to yourself, but building based off what you've released on your journey of leaving things behind. But we have it here in this position. So you're literally walking away from this. That's a heavy ass statue in the back too. Some sort of fixed way of being that you now see the purpose of it. It all played a significant role where nothing is worthless in a sense. 8 of Cups vibes. Oh, I actually put these together. Beautiful. We have communication coming out first. It's the basis of it. Communication about surrendering to your passions. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on people and activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. That way you're using less energy on being selective of what to be open to, and more in terms of creating the reality where you can just move freely with a nice, beautiful ebb and flow. We got communication first. And then surrender to play. Take a break from overthinking the goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. And then surrender comparisons with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Yeah. That's the whole point of this energy. Some of you are more focused on, it's to a point where the focus has to shift from enjoying life, not saying don't protect yourself or be mindful of your surroundings, but utilize more of that energy you're putting into that, into actually enjoying life. Okay? We have surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening, well, from reconnecting with the heart space. Now, collective. Surrender your desire to control people. Being over controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. I just heard loud and clear. Tell their ass to stop trying and do what it is that they're trying to do. And if you're new here, that's another one of the merge. Trying. Shit is an insult to what you're doing. It's either you're gonna do it or you're not. Simple as that. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see something. Let me move y'all up here. It's 104 outside. That's what I'm talking about. Bring the heat. Bring the heat. Bring the heat. Bring the heat. Okay. Let's see what else. There's some sort of communication that's coming in, but it's coming in slowly with this tortoise here. It's being received. Communication has been coming in, but you're receiving it slowly. What's that about? Oh, especially if you're in the threshold, you're in between two paths. Because this is coming through as two different openings here. But this mermaid's focus is on the information, more so an ancient source of information. Slow, deliberate, precise. Venus and Virgo. It is Friday, Venus Day, and it is in Virgo. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Also has a connection to Chiron, that's in Taurus. Chiron in Taurus is really asking you continuously while it's there, does your behavior reflect what you say you value? Does your behavior reflect what you say you value? Hold the space. Okay. Now we're gonna go into the energy of me speaking into the collective subconscious at this point with communication and this druid here saying hold the space. So let's speak into that with the tortoise showing that. Funny enough, the figure, well, that piece of stone behind her, or rock or whatever, is in the shape of a seal, even a sea lion. Is that a sea lion? Is that what they call? Yeah. Yeah, it's in the shape of a sea lion. And they're known to be playful too. And you have surrendered to play, playful nature, and the ability to thrive in both water and land environments. Huh. And so does tortoise. Even with the druid is also in this position of being in the midst of a portal, in the middle of a portal. So there's a strong connection here regarding the as above, so below, because of right where her head is, and her hair is literally touching the surface of the water. That's going into that moon in Pisces, though, with the mind's eye itself. What is the collective subconscious nervous system sorting through? Show me what it's sorting through. Having to do with the flexibility in life, though. What is it sorting through right now? The circuit. Yo. If y'all haven't, make sure y'all tune into the message from yesterday, because it's sorting through the message about the feather. 1551, the circuit. What about that? In order to trust and thrive. So who is present when they're not alone? What energy is this that's present? We have embraced the energy of peace. What peace is this? The stab with the Triskeli, air, earth, an air guardian. Shifting your perception. I just said Triskeli. Triskeli is this symbol back here. The strong masculine grandfather energy that is helping you sort through everything. What's that? A new start is coming. Solar eclipse. Leo. What is this about? I'll go here instead. The fifth house. Who's in there? Let me see which of your signs it is actually. So it's probably... I mean, Scorpio rising specifically, especially with the moon in Pisces. Scorpio rising. Because of an activation of the fourth house, though. So this is basically entering a period where career opportunities, leadership roles, business expansions, or increased visibility is naturally arriving for you. Especially with Pisces activating your fifth house of creativity, entrepreneurship. You don't have to be a Scorpio rising, but this, if you are, certainly this is for you. But you're being asked to create success with joy. Not success in just doing things because you feel as though you have to do it. Obviously, you have things to take care of, but do you enjoy what it is that you're doing? First house. So, shit. So, I'm talking to Scorpio rising at this point. Pisces, too. Because the moon in Pisces, that's you. Especially as a rising is activating your first house. Whether you are Pisces rising, what has been happening privately is now beginning to influence your routines, your work environment, your health, productivity. And this is what you're being assisted with in terms of sorting through. You can have people around you that are noticing a lot about, you know, the change in your energy even before you fully recognize your own energy itself. But this is also an excellent period for over the next 48 hours, establishing healthier routines that assist in improving your physical well-being and strengthening any type of business systems you have going on at this time. What sign is this? We have Cancer showing up. Mercury in Cancer, though. So, I mean, that's going to help you to receive insights pretty quickly. However, your greatest success actually comes from implementing those insights instead of collecting them, especially professionally. If you're somebody with a Mercury and Pisces at that. It's a beautiful cycle for writing, teaching, counseling, coaching. Where people are seeking more authenticity than performance, and your ability to blend wisdom with compassion makes your message especially impactful, especially as a Mercury Pisces rising, Sun's picking up on that too. Vesta, devotion. Surrender, fear of intimacy. What's the message here? Because I'm being drawn to that as I'm telling you about this. Two of Wands. Looking towards the horizon. It has to drop. That first one didn't, but the way that energy felt, it was quite magnetic. Surrender your fear of intimacy because you're attracting something you've been asking for. It's the vibe of making sure that you are in the position to take care of what it is you asked for, and for those of you that receive what it is that you've asked for, take care of it. Nurture it, nourish it. Taking care of the life, as some of y'all would say, you prayed for. Two of Wands and Temperance, but they're both in the position of going ahead. Now, show it to you. you've actually received the enlightenment you're ready to take on and move forward with, especially with the temperance energy. It's as if the mixture has been completed. The mixture has been completed. Now it's time to move forward with the embodiment of this newfound or new formed elixir within you. Because what this temperance angel is looking at is actually the area where the hangman usually is, but there's no one there. Okay, we have this eagle and the lion behind it. So a transformation of your willpower. Got your wings back for sure. Over hills and valleys too. It's a rise of a new dawn here for you, collective. That's for sure. Because there's a lot about being in the center of so many different situations here. Water, land, higher altitudes. Regaining your power and your stability within all dimensions, within all perceptions. I love that because it allows you to be much calmer in the things that you do. So now let me go deeper into this. Let's get a Celtic spread. We're going to put these to the side. $6:44. That solar eclipse message, I'll get it out before we arrive there. We'll turn it over here. Same one from yesterday. Compassion, caring, empathy, acceptance, gentleness. 28. Being gentle with this new beginning. 28, that's a 10. Not being so hard on yourself. So much so you can enjoy what it is that you're doing. Even if things don't pan out the way you planned it. You're sensing more of the gratitude, especially when it comes to you making a decision on trusting your gut, because I keep seeing flashes of yellow. Solar plexus. Inspiration. Back to that inspired action. It was 28:46. To take hold of, seize, take away, pile up, snatch up, seize in a day. Carpe diem, okay? Let's see what Psalms comes up. '52, verse 5. Wow. Surely God will bring you down to everlasting ruin. He will snatch you up and tear you away from your tent. He will uproot you from the land of the living. Selah. Let me jot this down because I know this thing gonna come around full circle. It's about to do it right now anyway. 28:46. can look at this symbolically as a tent where ideas live, and a tent is temporary. It does provide shelter, but it's not intended to become something permanent. And sometimes, we continue in, living in mental structures, identities, habits, beliefs, business models, or relationships that were only meant to carry us through one season. You know what I mean? Where you can trim branches repeatedly, but if that root remains untouched, the same pattern constantly returns, which is exactly what the current astrology is actually emphasizing, especially with the full moon that revealed the pattern. Now the waning gibbous Pisces moon is asking you to stop feeding it. It's from full going back into a new moon phase. That's the energy of release. Land of the living can be viewed as the field where your energy produces results. So if an old identity continues receiving your vitality, it keeps occupying space where new growth could occur. And this is why the new growth doesn't. For example, if you're no longer in a relationship you used to be in, but you're still holding on to what occurred in that relationship in the new one, that new one is going to appear very similar to the previous one because you haven't uprooted yourself from that entire situation in order to create room for something that's more aligned to take root. And the fact that that particular verse ends with Selah, Selah is having to do with patience or pause for reflection. The moment where you stop moving long enough to allow the message to settle. This will be an example of moving too quickly to express logically what's going on instead of allowing the period of feeling to actually go through its entire process. Because the waning gibbous phase is not a phase for, impulsive expansion. It's more of again, it's integrating what already has become so obvious. So okay, especially with inspiration here, which is external. And we would discuss an inspired action in the previous live and yesterday's live. You could look at one area of your life right now where you have, continue maintaining something simply because it had existed for a long time. That could be a routine, a conversation, some sort of business process or financial habit, a relationship dynamic, a belief about yourself, or even the language you repeatedly use to describe your circumstances. Just look at one area of your life. Then what you do is you ask yourself, if I were building my life for who I am today, would I create this exactly as it exists? Now, if the answer is no, begin removing your energy from maintaining the old structure and redirect it toward, strengthening the one that reflects your present identity, which doesn't always require some type of dramatic ass action. Sometimes it's simply, just updating what you have or simplifying your schedule, ending a conversation that has repeated for years without producing any type of movement. Sometimes it's replacing one sentence you constantly tell yourself with one that reflects your current reality. Main thing is, to not continue watering roots that no longer produce the life you're building. Every ounce of vitality you recover from an expired structure can actually become available for the future that is already asking to grow. And the future is what you do now. So if you keep manifesting a certain way of being or a certain lifestyle, It's been reflected to you many a times, especially in previous moments of the now, that that's what it's creating at that moment. Grab a hold of yourself, the best parts of yourself. Grab a hold of that shit. Especially if it's something, you know what I mean? That's where some of you are experiencing certain things in relationships that remind you of the previous one. And it has you in some sort of shell. Aww. Gratitude for the sparkles. For 2 jewels. Oh, she got us. Why does this dream give me a tingling sensation? You where you're supposed to be. Anytime I feel that sensation and I go into a space, to me that's similar to when somebody is passing their hand through your hair and it's easy for you to just fall asleep and just be, integrate, rejuvenate where you're supposed to be. And welcome. Visualization, intuition. Because the thing with visualization and imagination are two different things. They seem the same, but visualization is what's in front of you right now. Imagination is creating what you desire to see when you do your visualizations. Meaning, if I close my eyes right now, they're open right now and I'm looking at this phone. Visualization would be me closing my eyes and seeing this right here, exactly as it is. If I add imagination to that visualization, now I'm adding some type of studio or something of the sorts. See what I'm saying? So, because you got 41 and 40 and 41 here, 144. Intuition, 40, 41, though, specifically that order. 40, 41. Hold on, let me feel this, because this is good right here. This is a great one right here. So behind it, what's behind it? Physical health, divine consciousness. You can change your current situation, especially if it's in health related matter, through the voice, through chants. I've been seeing that quite a bit because you got self-expression here. And then intelligence. Your body remembers that level of intelligence, especially while Uranus is in Gemini. Over the next 7 to 8 years, it's going to enhance that even more. Anytime that Mars is in Gemini, creating that conjunction to Uranus and Gemini, this can create this sharp cutting at the root of any situation. Especially if this is anything lung related, shoulder, arms, hands. Behind intuition, you have the mind. Speaking of closing the eyes and action. And then heart chakra is under that. Let me see. There's something about the significance of sound, music. It's the missing piece to the action. I'm gonna keep these right here. Let's go into this. Take note of that. Who that? This is about to get strange in the most beautiful way. Let's go into this message here for the collective. We're going to look at your current energy to challenge the foundation, what you're leaving behind or what's in the immediate past, depending on the flow of this, what's crowning this message, what's at the forefront of your mind, what's next, the advice, what's in the environment or how you're being viewed, the hopes and fears position, and the outcome. Now that you know what you know, where are you directing your energy next, especially with the way the Two of Wands and this Temperance card came out? Towards a new start that's coming. We're foreshadowing right now. Now, Temperance is also a card of patience or Sela. But it's an energy that's far more active than just waiting. Well, patience is what you do while you wait anyway. Temperance is calibration, where you're taking two different elements, earth and water for some of you, or earth and air. Your body, your emotions, or your body, your thoughts. Blending them until they function together without friction. Now, that's certainly earth and air, because earth is to water, if we're looking at this astrologically. Earth and air. Blending them together until they function without friction. Refinement, proportions, timing, sustainable movement. The vision is clear and it's real. The way you reach it is represented by the Temperance, though. Because the Two of Wands is after that spark of inspiration, the Ace of Wands. So if how you reach something that you started based on a spark of inspiration, Temperance is indicating making sure that you're not forcing, you don't feel as though something is urgent for you to do. Making sure you're not scattering your attention across 10 different directions, but more so through steady refinement, adjusting any type of systems you have, improving a process that you have, especially when it comes to work for some of you. If you're in a position where you are, where you're working with the company and they have a certain process that is not feasible, it's not creating the level of productivity that they intend for it to, and you implement your ideas and they don't take your ideas wholeheartedly seriously and then make the adjustments, that's your cue to get up and leave. You don't have to be sitting there tolerating that stress because, granted, yes, you do have certain things you have to take care of, your bills or whatever. But you're going to have more situations of bills being in a position of being stressed out because they're not following the process, making shit more difficult than it has to be. Yeah. Let me tell you something. That's why I said, if y'all in a position to be in another interview and they ask you, how do you manage stress? You make sure you ask they ask, do they have processes in position that create stress or productivity? Because what are we doing? Dime. Porque coño. And when it comes to, you deciding, them asking you about what you're looking for in a salary, ask them what their cap is before you even mention a number. What's going on? Just say it. What's the current energy? For some of you, it's crunch time, but don't get all anxious and routed up and, okay, what is going on? That's a whole bend, right? But your boy looks as though he got a whole Wraith symbol on it. You know what? Let me mind my business. I am minding my business. You parking right in front of my shit. It's a red one too. Root chakra. Okay, gratitude for that message then, Archangel Michael. I see you. Current energy. Yeah, everything we just said, let them know. They ask you about stress. What process do you have? What processes do you have in order to prevent the stress? Heart chakra. Felt that. Heart chakra, triumphant success. Heart chakra for the second time and new beginnings, honey. Yes. But this is unknown territory for you. A new beginnings of unknown territory, but you're following your heart. It's been revealed to you. The heart chakra is the full moon. It's not even that cold, but why is that? Some of you could be going further up north. Michigan is coming through strong as hell. Or 313. That's 10 of cups. Heart chakra. Okay. Mars and Pisces. No, let me see. What is that for real? That is an angel though, on it. I ain't gonna hold you. That was 704. 704. That's 3 of cups. That's Mercury and Cancer. Okay, so well, let me see what planetary are we in. Let me see. Hold on. We gotta move quick here. 704. Boom. That literally says fourth. Fourth, and the fourth chakra just came out. Give me 1 second. Oh boy. It's really the heart chakra, because when you can feel the sensation of the heart chakra, you literally feel it right here. Right in your back. Let me see the year of Mercedes-Benz. This also has to do with trusted your gut and inspired action. When you get this nudge to call a loved one, just call them. because that may come up fairly quickly here. Let me see. 1926. Where? Okay, we on to something. And what's the animal for Germany? So we do it all over here, honey. Just give me what I'm asking for, bro. Well, hold on. I didn't understand the question. Is that June 1926? The dog. The dog. The year of the dog. Now, loyalty, honesty, and the strong sense of justice, which can be reflective of cultural values in Germany now. Come on, bring what I was about to say back. This is February of 1982 to 83. Because 83 could be a dog or a pig, but it depends on the month. Now, interesting. Dog backwards is God. Let me grab one more for this current situation. Heart chakra, what about it? Sitting on the right side. Yeah. The mind's eye, which is the current phase. 46. It's a 10. That's a 1. Hold on. It's a very strong energy here with this angelic presence of making sure that what it is you're sorting through is connected to the structure that fits what's happening next for you, where you're moving forward with, the timeline that you're choosing to participate in. What cannot survive that timeline will not go. But also, your future is being built by what you repeat today. What's the basis of this? Good Lord. Let me put this in order. Yeah. Ooh-wee. That shit is strong, bro. What's the challenge here? Three of Pentacles, recognition and reward, Mars and Capricorn. And the reason why I mentioned structure, because during the waxing gibbous phase, right before the full moon, that is heart chakra. Now, this is about your challenges, your ambition at this point. This is why I say be mindful of what it is you're ambitious about, because that's what builds your reality. And this is where we at right now for you. What's going on here? It feels as though some of you feeling as though you have to rush something. That's what I keep picking up on. And it's causing this high level of anxiousness, anxiety, whatever. Memories of love. This has to do with someone from the past. It's as if you're doing things to get your mind off of someone from the past. Memories of love. Six of Cups. Heart chakra. The Spirit is having me tell you, listen, that didn't work out because there was no foundation. And every time you show up in that space, you continuously find yourself sinking. Meaning also that your energy is too robust. There's too much light that blue jay, where you were around, what you were around, didn't have the capacity to even be held in a certain vessel, which is why the Two of Wands is followed by the Temperance. You and that person weren't going to be able to exchange energy, properly. Okay. And for some of you, that's when it comes to, I'm all for the manifestation of a specific person. Only when you're being real with yourself. Because that can also put you into a space of going against somebody's free will. And now you're putting a lot more energy into something, or someone that's not actually in alignment to you. And therefore, you may receive that manifestation, because a lot of people are going through that right now, where they're receiving what they've asked for years ago, and now you don't even desire it in your space anymore. But that's also a test from your higher self in connection to the universe in regards to, let's see which version or timeline you're choosing to remain in or go into next. They didn't recognize you. You didn't recognize them either, which is why you kept doing the insult to doing, trying. Hoping. What's the basis of this? Stand your ground. That was yesterday too. Mars and Leo, 2 Mars cards. Mars and Capricorn, moving with structure when it comes to what it is you love to do, joy, create. It also brings out your playful side. Some of you were actually about to settle with somebody corny as hell. Just being real with you, when it comes to who you are and how playful you could be and how outgoing you are, you really about to settle for this corny motherfucker, bro. Not judging you, whatever. Not misjudging you, whatever. I'm just letting you know what God said. You over here making it work because of they fine ass. Alright. And all that beauty and handsomeness goes because that's all they have. They don't got no, soul to them. Just put it that way. I don't get mad later. Immediate past. Immediate past, and now I'm gonna go to the next one after that too. Immediate past is what? Conflict and defeat. Oh, good Lord. This was your advice yesterday. So, okay. I love that this was in the advice position yesterday and it's showing up in what you're leaving behind. No, this is immediate past, I said, right? That's what I said, immediate past? It's both. It's both. Immediate past and what you're leaving behind. Immediately. Someone who, all they do, even if they don't sound as though they're arguing with you, they'll never see how what they've done has caused an imbalance in the partnership. 9. Just now seeing that. 40, 41 facts. Just now seeing that, by the way. See, this is why I be having the chat up here. I have my other shit up here open too. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. And then power, the strength card. Leo season. That's another thing. When you are in a position of allowing yourself to be seen, this person got a problem. But when they first met you, that's what they were attracted to. And this is what I mean about certain people having a 6th love language of drama. Okay. That first indication of them being uncomfortable the same way that they find themselves attracted to you, skedaddle, get up on out of there, because no. You don't deserve that type of merry-go-round headache. Leaving behind what? Yeah, you leaving that behind. Exactly. Moving right on. Yep, as you should. That's what I love to see. The universe made your ass do it too, because Mercury in Aquarius, 6 of Swords, you don't know where you go, but you know you getting the fuck up on out of there though. So basically telling someone you don't gotta go home, but you gotta get up on out of here though. Okay? It's time for you to go. You probably felt bad for this person. But that's not a universal law. Ain't no right or wrong, good or bad. It's cause and effect. You knew great and well that if you kept this energy around you, you would not allow yourself to be rewarded for all the lessons that you've gone through, to allow yourself to be open and receptive to what is for you. True love that sees you. Yeah. Especially if you have a habit of being in and out with this same situation. Even if it's not the same person. Being in and out with the same energy. In the forefront of your mind, this is why. Why? Look at this, heartache and loss, 3 of Swords. Yeah, Saturn and Libra. Saturn is exalted in Libra, so Saturn loves to put you through challenges, especially in the one-on-one connections, just to see if you're going to see yourself. Why was this happening here? What's at the forefront of your mind? Why was this happening? Let's see. Why was this happening? Hold on. Before I say that that's the same as this over here, visualization. Neither. Is he gonna tell me that? Okay, let me do it from here. So from here. No. Okay. It's actually the third eye. But what came out for you was the crown chakra. We're clarifying what's crowning this message. So, espérate. Hold on. Because the fact that I even went towards visualization, that's your current energy. You got 3 out of the 4 chakras so far. Heart chakra, third eye, and a crown. The issue was attachment. Attached to what? Because that's what blocks the crown. Grief blocks the heart. Illusions is blocking your mind's eye. What you're going to be leaving behind, for some of you haven't done it yet. You'll do it after this, after the resonance with this message. Especially if you didn't see the one from yesterday yet. What is this? Where did this come from? Foundations and achievements. A marriage that you were around. Or your, how you saw marriage growing up. Oh, what's the trembling about? Venus and Aries, 4 of Wands. Some of you could have been married to this person. You were attached because of vows you made. That's what it is. Solitude. Huh. Even throughout this partnership, you were alone anyway. Some of you could have been moving through a relationship as if you were married to this person and making the vow to that person. Or this could have been something you built memories of love that showed up before too. This could have been the past life lesson that you were closing out now though. We have to get the gunk out before we get to the greatness. You know what I'm saying? Got to get it out. 46, 47, 56, 37, 10, 10, 20 years. Scribe writer. Asia. Scribe, writer, Asia. Somebody has a very martial way of moving with their words. Or, you know, this, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. As an example of someone feeling uncomfortable about you being your authentic self when that was the same thing that attracted them to you. Being with you pulled out their insecurities, or this could have been you as well. It's easing up now. it could no longer pull from you because you're no longer funding that version of yourself. That's why the heart chakra comes out first. Since the new moon in Cancer, even furthermore, back than that, actually since the summer solstice, a lot of your dreams have been pulling through a lot of ex-partners that reflect where you are no longer, funding that expired version of yourself. But the imagery that they come through with, it's basically depicting what is sitting in your subconscious mind that even allowed that experience to play out. It's to a point where the way you're breathing now is even much different than possibly even 3 months ago because of how much you're releasing. That's some heavy shit. Highly discerning about where energy, affection, time, and resources are invested, especially if you have Aries Venus with Venus and Virgo. Because that square to Mars is going to create this level of temptation that tends to, divide your attention across too many opportunities, relationships, or projects to get your mind off of what it is that you have to really focus on, which is you. Karmic relationship, monk or nun. That shit flew out. As I'm saying here, it's quite the relationship. Somebody, even if you are this energy of someone who is demure, as they would say, they even felt some type of way about that. It wasn't you. It was their high level of insecurities. And you've dealt with this in many past lives. Now you're closing this out with this energy now. What's happening next? Because with solitude at the bottom of the deck and monk and nun coming out, this is Virgo energy. Look at this, which came out in your current situation in yesterday's life. In yesterday's life. I said life instead of life. Regaining your authority out of these situations that you are finally emotionally withdrawing from. You're cutting the energy completely. You've already done so, I feel, for some of you mentally, spiritually, not so much, but now you're doing that. Oh yeah, because the Hermit, this is you intentionally going to a space of solitude instead of isolating yourself, which is more so connected to being defensive. What's happening next here? What do we do? One more for the crowning energy. One more for the crowning energy. Stop. No. We're going to what's next, and we'll clarify with clarifying cards in this live for this spread. What is it? What's happening next? You got the solar plexus, which was in your hopes and fears position yesterday. It was in a hopes and fears position yesterday with the Two of Swords, mental conflict. And now this is happening next. I love this because this is connected to Mars. And you're telling the truth to yourself exactly as it is, which is also helpful. Extremely helpful in you making decisions. You haven't been able to express your emotions freely, and that's the weight that I'm feeling that's lifting off. Because if you don't, that also creates grief. Being not being able to express your emotions freely, and sometimes, after a while, all you know is to be defensive when you do get the chance to speak, because you're not used to having that space to do so, which is also why I do what I do. And I work with y'all one-on-one for you to be able to express yourself, let that shit out, but not sit in a space where you're constantly feeling as though you're the victim or pointing the finger at someone else, looking at it from a much higher perspective and getting that shit out. So that way now you can make room, for the best way of you expressing yourself better. And then we have the Hierophant. This is, wow. I literally put down the past life cards and look at vows. I didn't even peep that it was there at the bottom of the deck. But this has to do with a certain tradition within your family even, or your bloodline. Where there, may have been a generation that couldn't really express themselves or were afraid to. And if they weren't afraid to, there were heavy consequences for doing so. Which is why you have so many people rolling around in the spiritual community, constantly feeling as though they're being watched by something, or more often than they should if it's not constant. That if something gets interrupted, that it has to do with something outside of them. No, not all the time. In fact, the more elevated you become within knowledge of yourself and your spirituality, you begin to realize that your energy is so strong that the technology that's actually replicating you is not strong enough to maintain what it is you got going on, what you're saying through it. Which is why, as many times as we've been live, 8833, as many times as we've been live on here, and you can see how it would go in and out, that has nothing to do with anything or anybody saying or anything outside of me, preventing me from getting the message out. Fuck no. Not no more. Of course, I used to be doing that shit too. I ain't gonna hold you, but after a while, you start to realize, hold the fuck up. Are we in control of this, or is that shit in control of me? You know what I'm saying? So, because again, you're constantly orchestrating the life you're building. Your future is a clear indication of what you're doing right now. That motherfucker come over this way and insult to me. We're trying to mess this up. I'll call on the energy no one has even ever heard of. Keep playing with me. Keep playing with me. So we got solar plexus coming out for what's next for you. You're expressing your emotions freely and respectfully. You realize your talents, becoming more joyful with them. Releasing shame, however which way it plays out in your body, in your thoughts, in your thinking, which is expensive. Clarify. Not clarify. Can we get an additional? Shout out to my Nevis sister over there. Yo, the chakras is just boom, bang, bang. Because you're releasing the fear, you're releasing the shame. You got the root chakra, 31-4. You're stabilizing your foundation. Back to the heart chakra. And what's wild is the challenge card, Mars and Capricorn, Capricorn Saturn. The challenge is showing up in what you're handling next. 3 and 1. Third, solar plexus, Mars, the use and action of your willpower. And then the root chakra. You're trusting yourself more. The more you trust yourself, the safer you feel about yourself and with yourself. Now we rolling. You have to be connected to your higher self in order to do this type of thing here in regards to releasing fear, root chakra energy. So that way the universe operating through your higher self can fill you with clarity. Ace of Swords. What's at the basis of this? Clarity about discontent and boredom. Which causes so many of you to settle. I told y'all already, I was about to let some corny ass motherfuckers just... Oh, shit. Gratitude for tapping with our hearts, y'all. Let me see some. Let's look at the difference. For real, for real. Because being content, that's also a settling type of nature, though. Boredom is a lack of engagement with the present moment. It arises when your attention is understimulated, your curiosity is inactive, or your environment no longer captures your interest. The energy of boredom often asks, what can I do? it is usually directed toward activity. The mind looks for novelty, entertainment, or a change in circumstances. Discontent, on the other hand, is a lack of satisfaction with the present direction. It is not necessarily about needing more stimulation. It is about recognizing that something no longer feels congruent with who you are becoming. And that thing got sparked up during that full moon Aquarius energy. It has a lot to do with congruence as well. Who you are, what you say, what you believe, what you know, that influences what you believe, the way you move are all in alignment, and you're making all decisions and actions based off of that. You're not leaving anything or one behind when it comes to the coherence and congruence of all that you are. The energy of discontent asks, is this still aligned with me? Boredom often disappears when you encounter something engaging. Now, about to put your ass on the spot. How often are you in this situation and you know it's not aligned to you, really not rocking with it at all? But then something shows up where it sparks your interest once again, and now your ass is still there. Well, really, that was sort of an indication of get up on out of there. Because here's the thing. You could be in a partnership where you and this person are in the same spot and y'all not saying anything to each other, but that still doesn't, indicate that you're bored of one another. it's different when y'all around each other and you actually are bored, because the energy itself that both of you are carrying is in terms of this here temperance energy, y'all really not mixing and meshing well. Okay? Y'all just oil and vinegar. You're gonna have to constantly create some type of motion for that shit though. You know what I'm saying? So what's the advice? You know, all you missing is the sacral at this point. You done got all the chakras as well. So the sacral and the interesting. That's Psalm 52. The the throat chakra, fifth chakra, and the sacral plexus is all you missing. Oh shit. Ooh, your advice is Jupiter and Leo. Ooh wee. Victory and success. Now let's talk about it. Mind you, Jupiter is connected to the sacral. That's funny. Leo, the sun, is the crown. You would have to trust your intuition to step into this level of confidence and courage and recognition anyway, which is part of your challenge over here. Your advice in simple words is don't fuck this up by being around energies that are not mixing well with you. Okay? Just don't. It's not worth it. It really ain't. This is gonna be quite an intriguing clarification of cards when we get to that point. What's in the environment? Look at this one here. Temptation. Don't get tempted by a little spark of interest. You know how high that interest rate will make your bills now. Better pay that thing in full up front so you know what you really worth and what you purchase it for real, so you don't have to worry about none of that accruing interest charges, because you interested in shit. All right. What's in the environment? Passion ignited. That's funny. That's real funny. It landed on the table sideways, eh? Yo te dije, I told you, I warned you now. They gonna come through with the come through. That shit's gonna be quite enticing. For some of y'all, because my ears is feeling as though I'm on a flight and the pressure is up, for some of y'all, it got to do with trees. That's the only thing y'all have in common. You want to have a scythe? You want to go out for drinks? You love to party, or you love to enjoy yourself. As you should enjoy yourself. But with that thing right, that what this is right here, no. Actually, this was at the bottom of the spread yesterday. And I just saw a spider creating a web just now. A little one too. Don't get wrapped up in somebody's web now. Where you are deceiving yourself about what your gut is telling you when it comes to this energy within this situation with this person or environment or job. It's on some, this is you, and these are your chakras. This is what's in the current situation. This is what's next. That energy external to you is looking to see, let me see if I take the mask off, can they still tell? Because it's something about, even when the mask is off, you couldn't tell who this person was energetically, or you gave them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to take the mask off completely. And they've done this before. You gave them chances with the mask on and with that shit off. Then they're about to do it again, just to see where you are at when it comes to trusting yourself and your gut instinct that tells you, let's see if they're gonna fall for the okie doke. How they gonna come around? They know what you're passionate about. They may have a tendency to do this too. Where people are intrigued about what it is that you do. For some of you, what's happening is this is another training phase of you seeing the way you're able to read someone, their aura, their vibe for real. Knowing more about their subconscious than they do themselves. Because it's not solely about just that person, it's the energy within that person. That this waning gibbous phase with the moon in Pisces is having you sort out through. You know, so that way you're not taking it into the moon in Aries of the self, where you can actually now connect to your subconscious, your feelings of yourself, and not someone else's that's latched onto you. Because the moon in Pisces is going to have you feeling everything around you. Now that it's in the waning gibbous phase, it's more so about, can you see through exactly what it is you're feeling around you? Even more so the fact that the mind's eye is also connected to Mercury, and Mercury is in Cancer. So information is coming through the way you feel. Some deep shit. When you're aware of it, this is the world look completely different to you. Because now you can see, feel, hear, smell, even taste and experience an energy that's around you. You know, when people say that experience left a bad taste in their mouth, show me more about this in the environment. Because the way this person is seeing you, they feel as though you're going to fold again. Or this energy is seeing you, they feel as though you're going to fold again. Let's say you're looking for a job at this time. The way that this plays out is that you take the first one coming, and that's not something that's going to bring you joy. You're just taking it because you're hoping something comes in. The first thing that comes in is actually something that's not aligned to you. So I'm saying you got to be mindful. Obstacles and challenges. The Six of Wands put together now. And that's also your advice, though. To place yourself in a position where you are the vessel that is ready to be recognized, victorious, successful for what brings you joy. So you can see through these hating ass energies that attempt to see if you gonna fall for the okie doke. As I said before, look at this shit again. With the Three of Swords right here. This could be this is certainly what you're experiencing if you're a Libra rising. With this Saturn and Aries energy. Because it places Saturn and Aries in your house of partnerships. Aquarius rising, Aquarius moons, this is having to do with your neighborhood or a neighbor. Even a sibling too. What's in this hopes and fears position? Which is coming through as a projection though. And it is solitude. Because you're coming right back to this visualization and intuition. That 40-41 with that 9. And it's solitude, the hermit. That's what that is then. So, because with solitude, right? This is, again, where you're making the conscious decision to have a relationship with yourself. This is a type of energy that, why this solitude is in the hopes and fears position is because you've been placing yourself in this state of isolation instead, which means you didn't genuinely have a connection to yourself, and being around people who will exacerbate that by saying, oh, no one would ever love you the way I did, and then all this other extra shit people be saying to, this is what I'm saying, this feels as though it's a projection. Where someone has been projecting their fear of being to themselves, shifting you from a space of being alone to lonely. And, you know, making sure that when you are by yourself, now you're in this state of shame or exhaustion or not trusting yourself because of these conversations that you've had with this person. And this could be what's also being lifted off of you as well. And that's the reason why I keep mentioning that it's an energy and not exactly a person, especially with the current energy being the heart chakra and the mind's eye, because you're seeing right through it, which could also indicate where there's certain partnerships you may have been in. And because you see exactly the energy for what it is, you may encounter that you have a reconciliation. It doesn't have to be with the person that you were, you know, sexually intimate with or a lover. It doesn't have to be just in that aspect of it. You could be reconciling with someone, an environment, an idea, because that energy is no longer connected to you, so it's no longer tainting that vibe over there. 11111 on the timer. because there's a group of, not a group of you, but there's a situation where some of you are going to have a conversation with certain people or someone, and you're able to see, you know, eye to eye, 11 and then 111 again. 11 and 111 is very significant. Seeing those 5 1s, because that happened yesterday too, and it showed up here on the screen, and it also shows up here on the timer. And after that live yesterday, I saw a license plate with 111. So you're about to be granted what it is you've been asking for. Especially with this major shift here of recognizing what's been in the way of you taking the proper action that aligns with the structure you have. And not just falling for anything. The 9 of Pentacles is actually at the bottom of the deck, which is Venus and Virgo. Being precise in what you bring value and what brings value to your habits. Aligning with your core values that also changes the habits that you have. You don't feel as rushed as you used to. You don't feel as rushed as you used to. Because you're no longer punishing yourself for resting. So you can have that proper integration from everything that you've been demolishing to build properly. What's the outcome? The sacral chakra. Wow. That is beautiful. You trust in your intuition, especially when what you're seeing clearly, your heart's telling you no. Now you have the capacity, the clarity to trust that sensation, to trust any type of inspired action, to help you enhance on trusting your intuition too. Especially with the root chakra happening next. Because to have an active sacral, you have to be able to follow the signs and the guidance of the universe. But your root chakra has to be connected with your highest self, so that way the universe can fill you with clarity about what to do. And you're doing that. That's the outcome. It's at the bottom. Firm foundation, 4 of Pentacles, Sun in Capricorn. You got a backbone now. I was looking to see where was that mountain energy at? Right here. Firm foundation, harmony, the Lover's card, and prosperity begins. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, making a decision to align with prosperity that begins. And this moves quickly once you do that. But you move away from the attachments. The August 15th, after this energy of the solar eclipse on the 12th, but most of you could already feel it though. Yo, let's clarify this. The Sun card, the Two of Wands comes out, and the Seven of Swords. Took you a minute, but for a while you really wasn't in the phase of seeing exactly what was happening. You knew it, but you was ignoring it. With the Sun coming out sideways, the Two of Wands and the Seven of Swords, this is the energy of waiting to see what will happen. And what will happen showed up every single time, every time. And then the Seven of Wands, wow. Stand your ground, which is at the basis of this. All right, let's see. Clarify heart chakra, mind's eye, current energy. Page of Cups. Okay. Within the next 5 rotation, within the next 5 days, a message that comes through that is emotionally fulfilling, but it's just the first step into opening up the book of a new chapter. And then we have Temperance. Love that. Showing up again. Which has to do with moving with refinement, poise. Page of Wands in reverse, 10 of Cups, Mars in Pisces, 9 of Cups, 6 of Swords. You're not allowing passion to be the only reason why you make a decision. You're allowing the heart to step into this Page of Cups. Page of Cups is also Pisces, that moon in Pisces. You're checking in with your heart and your mind's eye before making a decision within the next 5 days. It's 8:06 at that, 8:07 now. Cards got a lot to say. The Empress. Ooh. And the Death card at the bottom of the deck. That's a beautiful transformation right there. And you making sure that you tune in with your heart and your mind's eye actually allows you to step into a position where you don't have to work as hard. The work just shows up on its own. This is becoming a very strong alchemist over here. A main part of you does have to let go, and it does let go. You let go of control. Wow, you let go of control, and I did this. Of where you're going to land when going into new territories. Clarify the Three of Pentacles as a challenge. Why is this a challenge? Some of you are actually, the amount of success you would have and how much you'll be seen, it's the only thing that's holding you back. This could even be how many people would actually be seeking for your assistance. The Ten of Cups, I'm telling you. What? You're not used to... Oh, bendito. You're not used to being so deeply and unconditionally loved with somebody having an ulterior motive. And where you're going next, you're so divinely protected and aware that your strategy is stronger in terms of the way you used to protect yourself, or now you're more focused, or the key is to be more focused on, you know, enjoying what it is that you do. But you could really be holding yourself back and not recognizing that's, you know, check it to see how somebody's going to move in a foul way, because you're used to that is what's holding you back from being recognized and rewarded in any area of your life. For some of you, this is having to do with the mature, emotionally mature connection with the Ten of Cups here. You know, divine masculine, divine feminine, their Empress energy in the space now where they're ready to give birth to life, not drain life. The Magician, literally, you calling this in. The Four of Wands. Oh, wow. If you've been married before, some of you, you know, you about to meet somebody that you know, you tell yourself, I would never marry again. Bullshit. And some of you, that's how high of a level of commitment that these ideas, these projects are going to, or this partnership that you're entering, 12323. That's why it's important to leave the past in the past energetically. You know, with feeling as though somebody coming for you, constantly looking over your shoulder and shit to see who's coming. And that Lionsgate portal is going to be very significant because of Jupiter and Leo with the South Node in Leo. It's as if your previous encounter with this energy or this person or this idea or this project was during the age of Leo. Building things that logically one cannot put together as to how that actually came together. You would have to be in a state of an, you know, deeply emotional, beautiful, loving state to do so. That power of love at this point. What's stand your ground? Clarify, stand your ground. The only thing in your way right now. That is some powerful shit. Taking action on your legacy. Mars, action, Pisces, the legend, legacy. Clarify, stand your ground. And this having to do with the sacral chakra. From the root to the sacral, but mainly the sacral chakra, it has been the issue. Trusting your intuition. Because all you were focused on is what you can see at the moment. Especially with visualization and intuition here. Which is why I left it there too. Stand your ground. Clarify, stand your ground. Mars and Leo. Use and action of your willpower when it comes to what you enjoy doing, your creativity, the Five of Pentacles. Standing your ground, no longer feeling as though you're left out in the cold, or no one is supporting you, or you're being left behind, or somebody's going to leave you behind, start something but not fully engaged. And yeah, standing your ground. You're saying, fuck that. Wherever I'm supposed to be, I'm going to be. The key is to take action, take the steps moving forward to be where you're destined to be. Wheel of Fortune energy. Three of Swords, yeah. Standing your ground against yourself, your mental state when it comes to your worth, especially after undergoing so many challenges and partnerships. Leaving behind an immediate past with Five of Swords and Six of Swords. We got Venus and Mercury showing up there. can feel the precision of the movement. I love that. And it's making it an easier process to dissolve what has to be dissolved before anything rises up into your crown or into the brain. And the brain is just meant to process. The body is meant to filter. Well, the brain is meant to put things in order after it's been filtered and processed. Clarify? The immediate past. What do you have here? Let's see. The Tower. This was all of a sudden, though. You leaving, the person leaving was all of a sudden, possibly no communication. For some of you, call it ghost. It wasn't ghosting. It was, no, that's not part of where you going next. The Two of Wands showing up again when we stopped shuffling just now. Wow. Either you recently had a discussion with this person, or you just recently went through this scenario with this type of person that was in alignment to your passion being ignited. And every time they show up, it's as if every time you're about to do something for yourself, this fuckhead over here just shows. Fuck means to strike. Off with their heads. Listen, because the Two of Wands comes after the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is in your environment, but sideways. Standing on top of that is Saturn and Leo, Five of Wands. So this could have been happening since the 22nd. Physically or energetically or both. Encountering people that were attempting to create an obstacle or a challenge when it comes to something you're creating or joyful about. Basically projecting their fears onto you. It's the music for me. Let me see. Which one is this? Oh, fuck. How long has it been on? Been on for a minute. It's okay. Okay. Clarify the Tower. Let me see. That'd be wild if it's the Eight of Cups, yo. I won't be surprised, though, because that's what it's giving anyway. It's giving that vibe anyway. Let's see that. It's even better. It clarifies the energy in the environment. The Five of Wands. And this could even be with yourself too, in terms of, you know, you creating challenges for yourself when it comes to doing so many different things at once, especially while Mars is in Gemini. It can bring forth so many ideas. Just ground yourself. You can use that from a higher perspective, you know, where, oh shit, it's ideas coming through, bam, bam, bam. And following through with inspired action, or just letting shit pile up and now you're overwhelmed. The immediate past is July 22nd. If I'm looking at a date, it's July 22nd up until, what we got here? Let me see. Look at my thingy. To the 2nd. Which is second decan of Leo. Second decan of Leo would be Jupiter in Leo, which is your advice energy, and also where Jupiter is right now. So it's expanding whatever it is you're confident about. Damn. Yeah, that shit can go both ways now. This is a warning for the one that says, we always go through this and we always end up back together. All right. Don't be so attached to drama. You cut yourself out of your abundance. Let them know. Warn them then. hmm So people are really addicted to that, attached to that, because they were used to seeing that growing up, and it makes sense until they do said shadow work. Other than that, that will always make sense. You could toss them to you blue in the face, they all still do it, and continue on busting up their heart chakra with the tears. Clarify the crowning energy with the crown chakra, foundations and achievements, 4 of Wands. I would look at that as feeling safe to be passionate about the love you have for yourself, the core values you have of yourself, knowing who you are. The crown chakra with the 4 of Wands, which is Venus and Aries. Clarify. The Ace of Wands. That's that inspiration right there, which you did get with what? That was a 2846. Let's get a refresher on what that 2846, that was Psalm 52. No longer continuing the water roots that no longer produce the life you're building. Where every ounce of vitality you recover from, every ounce of vitality you recover from an expired structure becomes available for the future that is already asking to grow. That's deep, because foundations and achievements, that's why that 4 of Wands showed up the way it did. You know what I'm picking up on? This amazing sense of bliss in all areas of your life at one time. It's as if your bubble of opportunity just burst. You don't even have to get anything to hold it. You just have to sit there and receive it and just let it bliss you, cover you for real. Because you did get surrendered to play and surrender the fear of intimacy, which is also connected to, achievements in your career, where the love that you are destined, in this type of energy that you're destined and desiring to experience, is also connected to how well you're performing in the things that you do as far as your purpose. For some of you, it's so deep as your purpose is to experience an unconditional loving experience where you have so much joy that you can't even help the tears that flow on your face. So much so, when you and this person are walking around together, another couple could be going through some shit where you don't even have, you and your person don't even have to speak to this couple. It's just they see how y'all are. Y'all may not even be talking to each other. Y'all just next to each other. And that energy just spews out to everything and all things around you, that if a couple is struggling or going through some sort of argument, you either help them to make a decision to go about their separate ways, or they realize everything that they've been, doing towards each other is not conducive or beneficial to the relationship, and they get their shit together. The same with, you not taking the first offer that comes to you if you're looking for a position, not taking the first thing that comes to you, and the one that you trust yourself to not so much wait on but align with. Now you're sitting there being able to delegate what type of salary you're looking for. On top of that, you enjoy going there each rising. Everybody that you're working with, you either cordial or you really fuck with these people on some, yo, these people are amazing people to be around. But the minimum is being cordial and respectful, where no one is, you know, even if people are in a certain role or position, there's still that level of respect and love. Just everything in life is just, here you go. Literally, this is what this is. That's your challenge. Is you're used to having to defend yourself. So if you're used to having to defend yourself, you're used to being in a state of weakness. And obviously that's not nourishing, it's not healthy. Look at this. This is your higher self saying, yo, if I give you everything you're imagining, because you've reached a position where now you can visualize your reality from a standpoint that you can also add what it is that you're imagining. So that means you're adding to the picture, or you're reconstructing the picture that you are seeing in your reality. You know what? I truly feel that if you're watching this every rising, you're literally not recognizing the decision you're making to experience a certain lifestyle because of the first idea or the first thought that comes to mind as soon as you open your eyes, even before you open your eyes. Some of you are so accustomed to focusing on what's not going right, what's wrong, what you got to do before you even just accept the fact and actually express gratitude that you're breathing. Even for those of you that say the first thing that I do is express gratitude. Do you really? Really have that conversation with yourself. Really sit with yourself and make sure that that's the first thing you do. Especially if there's so much to, to tend to. Because it's as if you can even do this as a project too. That the moment that you do decide to go on your phone and start scrolling, whatever it shows you first was the first thought you've had even before you opened your eyes, before you recognized you were back in this dimension out of the sleeping state. That first post that you see is an indication that says exactly where you're at. So if it's some drama, well, that's what you tuned into. Because it's on the opportunity each rising. Let me see if they're gonna do it this time. Let me see if they're gonna accept it this time. If they're gonna accept this 10 of cups, this bliss, this wealth, this generational wealth that can easily just show up right now. Let's see if they accept it this time. Or they're gonna step into a state of worry that they're comfortable with, that they're familiar with. 140, 40 on the timer. There goes that 40, 41 right there. And for some of you, it may show up for you, 7 rotations in a row, 7 days in a row, to see if you are spiritually in alignment to what it is you're asking for. Yeah, they did it for 3 days. Now let's see how they do on the 4th day, 5th day, the 6th, the 7th. They gonna wake up from out of that daze, or they still gonna be asleep? Or are they awake? Because you're projecting a certain trajectory that's having to do with the brand new beginning now. $828 right now. That's the lunar eclipse in Pisces. Which is going to be clearing out what prevents you from surrendering. Wow. Okay. Let's get one more clarifier here. The strength card. Whew. Jupiter expands what you're confident about. The universe is constantly giving you what you're focused on. Your strongest focal point is what you keep getting. But this right here is on some, yo, this whole reality can change mañana. August 1st, it could be a whole different, hey. Clarifying ones. What's, bitch. Not me, not you. I'm just, Lord. Mind you, that's a female dog, though. That Mercedes-Benz that was out there, the red one with that angel on it, I said that because of this here. The Emperor done came out. Having dominion over your core values, your willpower, your sexuality that also brings forth transformation on top of what it is that you know. Nigga. Yo. You could be running your own shit by tomorrow, okay? Because what you repeat today is the life you about to build. Now y'all see why I be telling you I don't have friends. I got people that I connect with on the soul level. Friends, y'all can keep that shit. 14406, because FRI, abbreviation for Friday, okay? Venus has to do with core values. Venus rules Friday. And we got the word end after that. We ain't about to sit here and be around me with your shenanigans and your bullshit because you got too much shit going on and don't know when to stop. That's on you. You keep that shit, okay? You keep that shit over there, way over there. Go back to where you came from. Don't bring that shit over here. Cause what? Tell me who you with and I'll tell you who you are. That shit is in the Bible, bruh. Tell me who you with and I'll tell you who you are. So if the universe is literally looking at you, your higher self is on some, let's see who you gonna text first. Let's see. Some of y'all gotta get out of these group chats you in. Y'all think this shit is a joke. All right. Okay. Keep it up. I'm messing with y'all. I'm so serious right now. I'm so serious right now, bro. So serious right now. He said, chill, that's me. Hey, that's what you over here for. Okay? You over here for me to tell you the truth exactly how it is because, bruh, you're literally just right here with the universe on some yes. And the universe knows you're ready. But tell me who you with and I'll tell you who you are. It's as if you're not going to place your newborn baby in the hands of somebody that's dusty and musty and dirty as hell. Are you? No. I mean, listen. That's actually not quite the best example. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I mean. I can't stand them shits either. Because not everybody in there is aligned. Not at all. You You really got people out here that is just looking for spaces to dump into instead of them taking their ass in the bathroom, go taking that shit out of their system so they won't be so full of it, so they don't have to sit here dumping shit in somebody else's life. It's another reason why people, be mindful, being around this here energy. Because I'm telling you about yourself. Okay? I'm not going to treat you any less than the way I handle myself. In fact, I may do better with you than I do with myself sometimes. Just keep it in the butt right now. Just keep it real, okay? Because that, bruh, look at what's at the bottom of the deck. Your challenge, the Three of Pentacles. What's behind it? The Eight of Swords. Self-sabotaging ass people. Because that's Jupiter. Jupiter is an external energy. It's also integration. It's also your sacral chakra. Boom. That's your outcome. If we gonna keep that in mind, we ain't gonna go over there that fast. Let's go to what's next. That's wild. You got the Emperor, the Empress, the Magician, the Tower. Those are cards describing you are unfuckwittable unless you decide to fuck with yourself in a way that is just not prosperous at all. You know? Tell me what's next here? We got the solar plexus and the root. So again, you trust your intuition with this solar plexus, yeah? Your vision is clear. You follow the signs and guidance of the universe. Everything I just told you. The root chakra, you're connected with your higher self to receive the guidance from the universe in terms of clarity. Clarify this. Yo. I received this message too. Shit. The moon at the bottom of the deck, and then you got the world card. This is closing out a cycle, which also indicates that you're prepared to take on a new one, even if it's uncharted or unknown territory. Literally completing cycles, many cycles. The moon right now is having you in a position to sort out through shit that literally sorts through shit. Sort it out of your life. So you're not producing, with things that are actually watering your roots anyway. What's this? Clarify the world card. This is amazing, y'all. When I get in this type of energy, it's because, shit got me hyped. That shit got me hyped right now. What? Because it's coming in fast. That's what this Eight of Wands. How many times y'all didn't seen this Eight of Wands come out? The moment you close out the cycle with these energies that are literally combative as ever, they don't see anything that they're doing. They just looking for a space to dump into, and you're a perfect space for it, but you made it perfect. Now it's time for you to demolish that, because the moment that you close out that cycle, Mercury and Sagittarius, you have information that comes from the gods. So that way whatever Jupiter is expanding for you, what you're confident about, it's solely connected to just you. Even the version of you that you haven't fully connected with, but because you had the audacity to step into that uncharted territory and trust yourself, voila, Temperance at the bottom of the deck. Y'all better hear me. The way this Temperance energy showing up here is coming through as a certain type of cuisine, oxtails. You have to have the proper ingredients and know the proper way to make it so that thing just falls off the bone. It's the same with you. You have to be around the perfect conditions. And the perfect condition is you being deeply connected to you and not allowing somebody else's blip blah bullshit to intervene with you for real. I feel as though what's happening next, this is right now. We're discussing it right now. We're going to keep that shit. We're going to keep it 100 over here. This is happening right now. If the people around you, you won't take them to a certain event. If you can't take the people that are around you to certain events in your life, and they can only be around a certain environment that you're in, those ain't your people. That's what this is. That's what this is connected to. Making sure that you're around people that you can go to some high functioning event, some event where there's nothing but top of the line people that you have to have a serious invitation, A-listers or beyond that. If you can't take these people there because of the way they move in, they shouldn't even be around you on a regular basis either. Not to say that you don't got no love for them or whatever, but minimize, at least for a moment in this type of, at least for a moment, minimize your connections to certain people you won't take to certain events. Because your advice is you're about to be well known. This Six of Wands is somebody that's going to be very well known. You're going to have many connections, very big connections. So you have to be mindful who it is you're connected to. Not in the sense of you're afraid. No, it's just you know your value. You know what I mean? In fact, when you are focused on what it is that you're doing, it automatically puts you in the space to not be so close to certain people. For instance, if you're focused on your wellness, your health and wellness, there's a certain lifestyle that you're going to be living that a person that isn't mindful of that, they're going to literally pull themselves away from you anyway. If you rise up, earlier, you have a certain time that you rise up, you go to the gym, you do what you got to do. You may be the type of person that does 2 workouts in a rotation or two a days or whatever the case may be. It minimizes the type of people who are not in that lifestyle to go about their business. Another group of that would be people that are in that lifestyle but still don't carry the same philosophy or ideas. Well, same philosophy or way of moving in life that you would have. Not to the T, but where there is a beautiful ebb and flow of communication. You know what I'm saying? And energy exchange. Clarify the Six of Wands. Yeah, advice. It's getting better and better. It's getting better and better. Yes, it is. 3 of Cups is a card of celebration. The victory and success Six of Wands is being clarified by the Ace of Cups. So this for some of you, this is really new love though. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not making no stories up or hyping anybody up. Some of you about to be connected to somebody that is well known, which is why certain situations in your life haven't been even panning out the way you expected it to. It may not even be somebody that's, on television or anything, but it just could be someone that is connected to very strong, powerful people in this new love situation here. Or your connection to them. Either way, your connection to them or their connection to you, it enhances your light. It's basically as if the curtains are completely removed. And now people can really see why, because you're placing yourself in an environment that, you allow yourself to be seen. Where you're the way people see you is connected to the way you value yourself. And you're not taking anything less than that. You're not accepting anything less than that. the Four of Swords. Seven of Swords. Yeah, that makes sense. Four of Swords is Jupiter and Libra. So Jupiter there would expand partnerships. But these partnerships been resting because you, as the point of connection to it, hasn't awakened yet. Wow. This is on some finding the treasure chest type of thing. And that's this message. With the Six of Wands, Ace of Cups, Four of Swords. Especially by this 844 right now. That solar eclipse energy is going to be bringing a lot of past life gifts, rewards. But you have to be a vibrational match to it. Gratitude for the gifts, the floating heart, my love. Thank you. Wow. Oh, I got chills on my legs. Clarify the environment here. This could also be someone from a foreign country because I just picked up on that. Gratitude for the jewels, for the floating heart, Santana. The moon. Okay, that was the bridge. Okay. So here's what I have to do, because I was going towards what's in the environment, but my energy was still in what your advice is, and this landed in the middle. But I do recall this coming out at the bottom of the deck when we was looking at the clarifier for what's happening next, and it was the World card and quick passionate communication coming in. However, gratitude for the super chat, Laura. Gratitude. Just found your channel, love your videos. Welcome. Oh. Okay, so here we have it. Let me the bridge, because it's showing me the bridge. The bridge right now, again, this moon card came out at the bottom of the deck. So this is about a cycle that's hidden. A cycle that's hidden. Not anymore though, used to be. And what we have, what's next, is the first and the third chakra. The bridge in between those two is the second, the sacral. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the outcome right now. What's at the bottom? The Two of Cups. That's Venus in Cancer. Mercury's closest to the sun anyway. So before you could even connect to the beauty that comes with being able to feel, Mercury in Cancer right now is helping you develop the actual information, the verbiage of that feeling. Especially with the Two of Cups coming up after. Yo, this is wild. This is what I mean about some of you meeting somebody that has to be in the public eye. Public eye. That's what's gonna happen. You encounter somebody and then you realize their connection to you, and what you say is, you lying. People are not gonna believe you. This could be people, you know, from your past that also mentioned this about you too, on some, you lying. I know she ain't talking to you lie. It's right there in your face. It ain't AI. Clarify the sacral, the outcome. Hold on. Where we stopped at? The Three of Pentacles. Yo, and that's your challenge card. The sacral chakra is you trusting your intuition once again. Where your vision is clear and you follow the signs and guidance of the universe. That's the outcome. This is, you're pulling back the layers, because it showed me an image of a skirt with many layers to it, and you're pulling each layer one by one. To see what's under. It's not on someone, but to see the undergarment that's there. Something to that effect. Pulling back the layers. Now I'm smelling the baby eating cheese doodles or cheese puffs. That is funny. Clarify the sacral. Cheese puffs. Well, that's orange. Holy shit. This is a past life soulmate. Well, if it's a person, idea, the move that you're about to make, the location you're about to go to, your soul is pulling you there. The Page of Pentacles. That's 3 weeks. 3 cycles. Let me see. There's something significant there. What was about that? The 21st? There was something. Hold on. Let me look at. Where is my... Let's look at the 21st. Venus is opposing Saturn. So I would say this, that the duration of, let's say, manifesting a major shift in your reality is 3 weeks. With Venus opposing Saturn, Venus would be where the, hold on. Because Saturn puts restrictions, and the fact that it's not there, I mean, it's there, but it's basically, the teacher is out, so you got a substitute teacher. Oh shit. Venus will be on Libra at 14 degrees at that, which is a Taurus degree. So it's in the signs based on the sign that it's in and the degree that planet that Venus actually rules. And it's a Friday. Not a Friday. The 21st is not a Friday. Hold on. That's why the energy would be so strong when it comes to someone of great power, or someone that's well known. Well, this could be something that shows up because it's 29 degrees. That critical degree. Whatever this is someone coming through to help you to fulfill your obligations. It also defines your responsibilities in your relationships, where you make financial business plans with the partner. Venus opposing Saturn. And they're, yeah, because Saturn would be in Aries, Venus would be in Libra. Some people could experience distance or pressure in the personal relationship, because you could see what's not in alignment, what should be changed. So this would be literally precise energy in terms of, okay, you're in a situation with someone, or this has to do with works, any area of your life right now. Between now and the 21st, you're going through the motions of literally moving on from this energy. By the 21st, it eases up even more for you. Well, you possibly make a decision around that time. Unless you got some strong Sagittarius placements between the personal planets, or luminaries between the sun and Mars, or your rising. It ain't gonna take you no fucking 3 weeks. Because at this point, this is just confirming what you already know. Aquarius too. This is confirming what you already know, and you don't have to second guess it at this point. This is on some, okay, so what you waiting on? This message will come through on some, so what you waiting on? Clarify this, 6 of Cups with the sacral. The Sun card, which is a yes. No more smoke and mirrors, that's for sure. This Page of Pentacles is still there. Give me one more. Let me see. Whoa, wait a minute. Wow, not the Wheel of Fortune in reverse though. You're seeing exactly how something of your past is not fated to move on with you. You don't gotta wait 3 weeks though. Basically, by the 21st, it feels as though the energy gets more intense. And instead of you just, this would be the type of message of, had I known this would happen, I would have done it this way. Well, this message is giving you, now you know. So move differently. Queen of Pentacles now. Instead of the Page, now you carry dominion over. All right, you have everything, all of the resources, the ability. All you're missing at this point is the connection. Tell me who you with, and I'll tell you who you are. Now show me the environment with the Ace of Wands, sideways, challenging energy. Something in your environment that's challenging your passions, being reignited. Extreme heat warning near your location. It came through twice. This is the second time you're being warned about this, because it came through twice. Somebody just said, holy shit. Yeah, you. You talking to you. But okay, so when it comes to your passion being reignited, this energy is constantly coming through with some challenges when it comes to your creativity, especially if this has to, some of you are in marketing or you're a project manager, you have a way of doing something, but you got another energy around you that has some sort of position to not allow you to, you know, blossom and flourish. Clarify. Oh. The Five of Cups. The fives is a test of the Hierophant. The test of whether you're going to change the way something traditionally goes. And then you got the fucking Five of Swords. El coño. Diablo. Hold on. Wait. Mm-mm. I know. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Hold on. Let me close these blinds. Mm-mm. Yeah, I ain't about to get collective. Not on my watch. You do that shit. Don't even do that shit nowhere else. Send their ass back to their maker. At this point, send their ass back to their maker. They left the cause trouble, send them back to trouble. Either you or them collective, that's strong Libra in your chart. That's that cute. Seventh house matters though. This has to do with one person. This ain't a group of people. This is one person. You know what to precisely, this could be the parent of a niece or nephew of yours, because that seventh house is also connected to well, nephew really, but that Wheel of Fortune in reverse is wild. Okay, let me continue here. Because the Five of Swords is in your immediate past, what you're leaving behind. The Five of Cups, Five of Swords. Yeah, makes sense to leave this situation behind. Absolutely. Six of Swords. Yo. Either way, this is over. Your immediate past is Six of Swords, which is moving on from situations, turbulent situations into a calmer situation. And what's in your environment is also the Six of Swords with the Five of Cups. You know, that's the way the person does it. They possibly apologize. And if you've been feeling, if this has to do with the relationship that you left behind, and if you've been feeling or wondering, should you, go back, or what's this feeling? It's not even so much for some of you, it's not even so much you going back. For some of you, it could be. But it's not your energy you're feeling. It might be even stronger now. Had you not been here, it would have become more intense because the moon is in Pisces, where your dream state can actually show you a projected emotion from that person that has you now wondering, damn, should I reach back out to this person? No. Based off of this, no. They constantly block your path. Their energy constantly blocks your path. That's what I was saying. Every time you're about to, you know, take several steps forward, this energy shows up. This happened twice already, two or three times already. Because what the fuck was that? Every time you're about to quantumly, here go this person. And why they have to move on anyway? Because they have no point of contacting you. So you're either blocking them, or you're about to. Even your advice is telling you to put that situation to rest because you have new love coming in, a new opportunity coming in. If this has to do with work, somebody could be seeing, you might be in a thought process of submitting your resignation letter, or you did already, and now they're giving you the offer that you've been asking for this entire time, just to keep you there. Clarify the Hermit in this hopes and fears position. Why is the Hermit here in the hopes and fears position? The Chariot. The Hermit is 9. The Chariot is 7. Together is 16. 16 is the Tower, which is in your immediate past and what you're leaving behind. The universe made changes for you anyway. This is what I'm saying. Whatever this lonely energy some of you have over you, and you're hoping it goes away, don't hope it goes away. The shit's gone. It's gone. It's out of here. Especially as long as you connect with your higher self, so the universe can fill you with clarity. Connecting yourself with your higher self so that way the universe can fill you with clarity is going to shift the energy from hoping and removing the fear, because the fear is what blocks your root chakra, which can also block your stability, your finances. You're gonna have to close out communication. 8 of Pentacles. This could be someone you work with, a co-worker, someone you're attempting to work out a partnership with. Yeah, Judgment. The 4 of Pentacles, which is the basis of the energy for the first set of cards of this spread. Firm foundation. Let me get it from here. Let me see something. Firm foundation. Prosperity begins when you make a decision. And then you have accelerated motion, which is the 8 of Wands, which is in the position of what happens next. Behind the Devil card, temptation here. Spiritual strength, which is the Nine of Wands. You already done all you can to make this situation work. You keep coming across the same results. And once you make the decision to move away from this, now the two cards you got already, the Empress and the Magician, show up. Once you give yourself the opportunity to emotionally withdraw and choose wisely, you begin to have that mental clarity. In spite of the adversity, but you do get it. The mental clarity. Wow. If you're looking to obtain your own personal message, the information is in the description box, as well as we do have our live goal, where those of you who participate in the live goal, I'll pull 1 to 3 cards for you. The firm foundation, the card denotes that you have already or are currently working towards establishing a solid foundation in the material world. Furthermore, that double up on that Four of Pentacles is the Eight of Pentacles, Sun in Virgo. And this is why it's important to make sure you make this decision by the 21st, because the 23rd, that's when the Sun ingresses to Virgo. 22nd, 23rd, depending on the degrees of the Sun of that day. Okay. Using proper judgment and heeding lessons from the past concerning financial matters will assist you in laying a firm groundwork. By doing so, security will have a better chance of building in the future. The material power that's now around you can either be an advantage or a disadvantage, depending on the way you respond to it. Don't let your current position determine how you are or who you are. Remember to give back and prime the pump of prosperity, for true spiritual material wealth is as much about giving as it is receiving. Seek proper investment advice and realize that you don't have to hold on to your possessions too tightly. Just be flexible and allow things to continue to flow. It's some sort of advice that some of you are actually taking when you're in some sort of group setting. Let's say you joined some type of course, a Zoom course, and lo and behold, you have the opportunity to meet so many different people, make certain connections, which is why it's important for you to stay focused and don't allow any type of current energies around you that doesn't have that same level of focus as you do to get in the way of where you're going next. You really can't allow that to happen, for real. Hey. Spirit for you to get focused, love. For real, for real. Tell me more. The High Priestess. Ooh. And the King of Wands. Someone looks great on paper, is highly attractive, but that's all it is. It's time for you to be focused and step into your position of leadership here. What's behind this one? The Three of Wands. The Six of Pentacles. Because there's something way better than what you're visualizing right now. Again, what you visualize is what you can see that's in your current environment. What you imagine is what you add to the environment that's not there already or yet. High Priestess. For those of you who are coming across me for the first time, I'm glad you're here because you're not alone. That's another message that's coming through here. The Two of Wands, clearly. You were deciding which way to go. You landed where you're supposed to. This is an example. You being here right now is an example of you trusting your intuition. With this Ten of Pentacles showing up here at the bottom of the deck. At the center of it, Four of Pentacles. Again, we just read that energy. Trusting your intuition along with your emotional intelligence. The Chariot with the High Priestess and the Two of Wands clarifying the Hermit. This is you going into a space. It's important for you to go into a space of solitude where you are genuinely in alignment with yourself, not neglecting any part of yourself. The who, what, when, where, why. Because at some point, with this being in the hopes and fears position, you felt inspired, but then you immediately, it sort of seems as though you immediately hit a dead. Not it cutting out as soon as I said dead end, and it's 14:40 on the timer. And we pause it at the Ten of Pentacles again. Let me use another deck and clarify this. Why is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse? Let me clarify this outcome here with the Six of Cups, the Sun, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Just clarifying the sacral. Fluidity, grace, creativity, depth of feelings, sexual fulfillment. Oh, I just felt a different vibe from that though. With the Six of Cups, the Sun, and the Wheel of Fortune. You haven't met your person yet. You met bits and pieces of them and where you've been. And for those of you in a connection, this has to do with, let's say, okay, you're in a connection, but there's still parts of you that you are still moving from a previous version of a past situation, and it's just not, you know, it's just not cutting it for you. That wasn't cutting it for you. And you sort of brought that into this new partnership. But the difference with this partnership is that the person that you're with right now is patient. They're very patient. Now, for others of you, you haven't met your person yet. Welcome in, Sean. Gratitude for the $5 super chat. All is well. Let's see. Let me clarify this outcome here. Again, the minimum for 1 to 3 card pulls is 20. So gratitude for your super chats, love. I got you covered, Ocean Goddess, when we get through with the collective here. Let me see. Clarify the Wheel of Fortune. It landed right in the reverse section over here. What is it? Six of Pentacles. Okay, hold on. That's reciprocity. All these cards are powerful, and the Chariot. Oh, I'm told. See, no, you haven't met your person yet. They're coming though. They closer than you think. A shift in your reality when it comes to your finances closer than you think. That's what we was talking about earlier. In regards to what's the first thing when you realize that you. Here we go. It's all right. We back. We here. We here. We here. We here. What's coming towards you that hasn't arrived, a destined and fated opportunity of reciprocity and precise movement forward hasn't arrived yet. Where do we stop? Two of Swords. Why? Not why. That's not what I'm asking. I mean, no. It's not too late because that Wheel of Destiny, Wheel of Fortune in reverse of Destiny, it's not too late. It's not too late. Time is an illusion, and also the biggest illusion of this planet is lack. An illusion is also an art form. Illusion is also connected to art, what you create, what you make time for. What you make time for. You're possibly making time for situations that are not reciprocal and you feel as though they're very precise movements forward. However, they haven't been. But Eight of Cups type of energy, you know, you learned quite the lesson about the unseen, your spirituality through these scenarios, through these experiences anyway. So it's not anything that's lacking any worth either. It all played its role. The Fourth Sword. I told you. You ain't meet them yet. You life is gonna get way better than you. Because the Four of Swords is in your advice in regards to being seen, being recognized. I mean, and then the fourth Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, which is at the basis here, which is what we just read on not too long ago. Yo, hold on. Wow. We spiking up the energy, huh? It's 21:21 on the timer. I see y'all collective. We got this thing over here booming. We got this thing over here booming. Feel me? Your partnerships are about to be on a whole other level. So go again. We'll go again. Hold on. Yeah. We're gonna do this. Angels. Go again. Tell me again. Why is this Wheel of Fortune? Is this what we've been saying so far? Why is this? In reverse? Wait. Oh, shit. Why is it in reverse? Why is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse? Bruh. Samael, the devil. Seduction and downfall. You have to go through these cycles because you're someone who can communicate with the other side. What's going on here? I mean, y'all can still hear me, but what? You got a whole red bar on the top of the screen, but whatever. Let me continue. Because it was opening you back up to a past life gift of communicating with the dead. You're someone who's supposed to be teaching the occult, or you have a strong connection to the occult and magic, which is also why you showed up here. Okay. And then the Hermit, which is in the fear position. Oh, so that makes sense. This is a person, the energy of a person who was just 17717. You know your power, but you're afraid of it. You've been afraid of your power or uncomfortable with it. And now you're opening up to it. Alchemy and transformation rules natural events, helps with spiritual progress. And this is card 70 at that. One more. What is it? The High Priestess. Yeah. You had to be spiritually developed before the universe gave, because when you receive, you're not the type of person that's going to receive your desires bit by bit. No, you're going to receive it all at once. So if you've been receiving it bit by bit, it's because that's where you were with your own worth, bit by bit with it. You weren't just fully encompassing, I'm her, I'm him, I'm that. Okay? Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Divine blessings, drives away evil spirits, rules agricultural production. That's Taurus energy, the builder energy. Bang! High Priestess, what you say? Success, protection from magistrates. 44. And we did mention 844. So whenever you watch this on a replay, go back to when I said 844. That was at some point. Listen, you have to listen to the whole thing over again, but yeah, the Emperor and the Empress showing up here, and the Magician. You got some strong ancestors anywhere, some very, very heavy angels of higher order that work with you, that you have to connect with that first. Basically, when I say connect with that first, is you having the confidence, the courage, not allowing the ego, because the ego can easily, get in the way of how much you actually know. And just keep that at an even keel. Now don't get distracted and not do what you're supposed to do, because you may encounter a lot of people who quote unquote say they love you and they fuck with you, but they just around you being nosy as hell. Okay, collective. But I my nose itching just then. That's the collective message. I'm about to go to the super chat for Ocean Goddess right now. Do you have a question you would love for me to answer? Do you have a question? Or are we just doing just a general 1 to 3 card pull? Well, 3 cards actually. Wow. Just a general? You got it. General message for Ocean Goddess. It's the message for Ocean Goddess during this energy of the moon in Pisces. message for Ocean Goddess. Temperance came out for you. Ten of Swords. And the Star card. Holy moly. And stillness. Okay. Don't make any moves yet. Don't make any moves yet when it comes to, because you're still closing out this healing process here. So allow that to fully go through its final shake through, but don't make any moves yet. Yeah, with the stillness card showing up here. Now, so this is the image that I'm receiving here from this. This would be after the healing, actually, but not making any moves too suddenly. Let's say somebody's coming back from an injury and not to go back into full activity immediately after. Allow yourself to have some time to yourself to finalize the process here, where you're more comfortable with yourself, especially in matters of resources or income, self-worth, because now you have the moon that's in Pisces is moving through your second house. So it's allowing you to sort through things that you're seeing in regards to, the vibrational matches when it comes to external relationships that haven't been reflecting the shifts you've been making. Because before you were making shifts, but they were smaller than the ones you're making now. And the ones you're making now is showing you a lot more about certain dynamics that either reflect your worth or doesn't. Especially while the sun is in Leo. Because it's putting you in a position to question whether people around you that are close to you truly see you. Where conversations are telling a lot. They're telling quite a bit here for you. So it's just saying, before we finalize this process, let's get her into a space of being still, because the darkness is still being lifted. You're still entering that phase of a new dawn with everything that's rising up here. Making sure that you are truly comfortable with your worth in terms of the way you're changing certain traditions or the way you just go about, respecting your values. That influences your decisions. Then we have the Star card, Aquarius, showing up here. You're making sure to water yourself more than you have been, because it seems as though you were watering situations that weren't receiving you fully. And that's okay. You're moving past that. Even if this has to do with a certain group of people. Especially with the Ten of Swords, Mercury and Gemini. If there's an energy that lives around you that is moving a little funny, they're possibly moving. What's at the top here? Blocked. Wow. Okay. So if you notice that there's something you're looking to do it or participate in and it's not moving forward the way you expected it to, it's because it's not actually in alignment to where you're going. However, your desires are still going to be fulfilled with this Nine of Pentacles here, and that's what's being illuminated to you. It's a major release you're having. Continue to refine this amazing, legendary idea you have. Because by September, after this lunar eclipse in Pisces, you're going to feel a much different shift here, where it completely closes out this overbearing, over-processing mental energy that you could be sensing this from other people, though. Let me know if that resonates. Get by the water more. There's a lot of water here. Even if there isn't a water sign up here, there's a lot of water in these cards. You're in your final cycle of pouring into this situation, either with somebody that you grew up with, a sibling, but you're done pouring into it, though. You're done pouring into it. Because the way I'm seeing, the way this Aquarius card, this star card with the temperance, put it this way. It's as if you're pouring into something and it's just constantly just falling away. It's not even falling into the vessel itself. You did all you could, though. You did the best you could in this dynamic. However, it's just not, it's not doing what it, you know what I'm saying? It's constantly putting you in this energy of discontent. You know? The advice on that is just let it close out. It's closing out anyway. The communication is closing out anyway. It may feel that way, because it is. You're rising above a whole lot. Because even the way the temperance card is here and how the water is flowing, looks as though it's flowing in the air itself. Have you been having sightings of certain things? Have you been seeing certain things? Certain figures or something? Sightings? Yeah. Mm. It's not anything that I would say, to be mindful of. I just feel as though it's something that's actually in a position to make sure you're taken care of. To bring you back your peace fully in all areas of life, not in just one, and then you're overcompensating that peace and energies that is not bringing peace to you. You going through a lot of spiritual surgery. That's what that was in terms of all is well. Just take it bit by bit. You didn't recently have a procedure done or anything, not to get too, you know, but it's really coming across as that. Hold on. Let me get one more. Um, said one, but we got the sun card at the top. One. Okay. So it is a spiritual surgery, though, of that heart space. Oh, new love, though. That's what Spirit said. Not yet. It's coming. Just let us lift this last phase off. I mean, that's significant. It's so dark in here that I thought it was dark outside. Because I closed the blinds, and what's catching my attention is it's so dark inside, but it's not as dark as it is outside. Mm. You're still going through that final purification process there. It's at the bottom now. The Two of Swords. So the only thing you have to do, what was that, 941? The only thing you have to do is trust your intuition more. Don't second guess yourself. And you enhance that muscle, you know, by following each inspired action you have. Yeah. So it's really more so up to you. That's what that's about. Okay. It's up to you. Yeah, to move forward. You have to spark the match yourself at this point. Every step you take, trust in inspired action. I went through a full description of that in the live from yesterday. When you get a chance, really sit with that and jot anything down that truly resonates with you. Turnaround time. Ooh. Turnaround time in 10. With Temperance, Ace of Cups, and the Star card, turnaround time. Depends on when you close that mental cycle out. Say whatever it is you have to say to whoever you have to say it to. No more holding it back. None of that. Use the energy of Lilith and Sagittarius, Mars and Gemini, Venus and Virgo. You know what you have to say. It's very precise. It's to the point. You're most welcome. You are most welcome. Infinite gratitude to everyone who joined up in the live. Double tap the screen to show your thumbs up. We got 44 thumbs up in this live. Gratitude to all of you. Much love to all. If you're looking to book a personal one-on-one with me or to work with me on a monthly basis, you'll be looking at the Journey of Life analysis, which goes really deep into all that you are. We utilize your natal chart numerology, human design, galactic signature. And during that month, we also work with your current transits. We work with quite a bit in that segment of the Journey of Life analysis that you'll find within the link in my bio. Join us on King Simon's Presents on the 12th of August. Amazing conversation we'll be having there. It'll be amazing to see you all. And that'll be at 9